What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing The Kingsman. Now, The Kingsman is based on a comic book, and it took everybody by surprise when it released some years ago. I want to say 2013, 2014, somewhere back there. 2014 maybe. It was a comic book property that I wasn't familiar with. So when the movie came out, I was like, yo, this is kind of a play on, the 007 type vibes. I was just going in. It was something new. It was something fresh. And I went and saw that in theaters. I was like, yo, this movie was dope. It was fresh. It was funny. Dope fight choreography. The first Kingsman, honestly, has one of the dopest action sequences I've seen in a long time. If you haven't seen The Kingsman, just watch the action sequence in the church. If you don't want to watch the whole movie, YouTube Kingsman church fight scene. It's incredible. I remember seeing it in theaters, and after that scene happened, I was like, I clapped. People weren't even clapping. I did. I was like, yo, that was amazing. Kingsman was a great surprise. Then they made a sequel, Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle. It was enjoyable, but it didn't really differentiate from the first one enough to really just resonate in my memory banks. It was like, all right, that was cool. But then, I just forgot about it. So the Kingsman 1 was a superior film, but the sequel wasn't bad. It was kind of like how Men in Black 2 was. It was like more of the same. And it was just like, yeah, it's good to be back, but ultimately you didn't give me anything new to hold on to sink my teeth into. So now we have the prequel to the first Kingsman, The Kingsman. This is essentially the story about how that agency got started. Now, the Kingsman agency is pretty much a British agency that operates beyond any type of political or nationalist landscape to try to do what's necessary to protect the world, essentially. Not only Britain, but the world. So they operate in that space. Like, we'll do whatever's necessary to protect the greater interests and the safety of the globe. So now we get into how was that agency even started? How did it come up? Ralph Fiennes is a character. He's like, I don't know if he's a duke or something like that. Your Grace, they call him. There was an incident where, his wife ended up getting killed in a battle landscape. She wasn't in the war, but it was like, he made a promise to his wife that, look, I will protect our son. I will keep him out of harm's way. That was his promise to her. So within that, and this guy was formerly like that dude. He was formerly that agent guy that can get the job done, that can get it handled. He got injured. His wife died, so now it's just him and his son. So he vowed to keep his son out of harm's way. The son, as sons, when we grow up, we want to do certain things. We want to be heroes. We want to be big guys. We want to be tough. We want to serve in the military. We want to fight for our country. You know what I'm saying? We want to do something great. And so his son had those yearnings, but he was like, I'm keeping you off, the path. I want you to stay out of these wars. And the movie is set in like 1913, 1912, 1914, somewhere in there, around the beginning of World War I. That's where it's set. And so that's his whole agenda. It's like, I care about what's going on in the world, but at the same time, I don't want my son involved in the battles of man. You know what I mean? And so, but at the same time, he's training his son how to fight. He's giving his son all the tools necessary to handle himself in the fight, to be a great soldier, to be all of this, but I don't want you fighting out here. The movie is essentially about a father and son dynamic and him pushing back at his father, just like, let me serve, let me fight for my country. So the whole dynamic is there. Great characters throughout. Ralph Fiennes is like a brilliant actor. He's dope. I love seeing him and stuff, and I think he has a great voice. For some reason. Jaimin Hunsu is the loyal servant of Ralph Fiennes. What's her name? Oh, I forget her name. Damn it, hold on. Let me look, y'all. And while I look, I'm going to be talking to you. I enjoyed looking at her. I was like, man, she's got a good face out here. You know what I'm saying? I believe her in this role. Let me cue it up right now. Queuing it up right now. Steadily talking. And another thing about the Kingsman that I really enjoy. Oh, Gemma Arterton or something like that. She plays Polly, the loyal maid. And don't be fooled, man. The maid and the servants, they serve another purpose outside of their occupational duties, if you will. What I like about the Kingsman is they take real historical figures and incorporate that into the fiction. And so I just think that's dope. So it makes you really dig into the real history of like, all right, how did World War I start? How did this get going? Like Rasputin is in this movie, and he's played by Rais Fons. I'm not sure. I've never said his name. Rais Fons. I've never said his name out loud. I always see it. He plays the lizard in Rais Fons. Rais Fons. Wow, I never would have known how to. I fell down the steps trying to pronounce that. And the son is played by Harris Dickinson. He's an actor I've never seen before, but he was good playing the son. Let me tell you something. Rasputin in this movie was a fantastic character. Rais Fons killed it in the role. He's unrecognizable. I thought he was Peter Stormare, to be honest with you, and kills it in the role. And it makes you more intrigued about who Rasputin is. Like, what the hell's going on here? So now, not to give away anything, I'm not doing the full recap in this one because I'm pressed for time. But the action in this movie is dope. Good fight choreography once again, just like the first Kingsman. The fight choreography in this movie, it actually meant something. Like when they had a fight scene and when there was action, it actually held weight because it actually meant something. And the fight choreography was crisp. And I was like, this movie is slow. I'll give you that. It's slow, but it's slow for a reason. It's like building story, it's building character, it's building intentions, which I thought was pretty dope. Like this movie doesn't feel like just another add-on or just another prequel. Now I know the critics are like, they're not too kind on it. I enjoyed it. I felt like, I didn't know what to expect. There's surprises in the movie. The action is ridiculous, of course, but it's a dope ridiculousness, and it's based in the comic book realm, so you got to expect the ridiculous action. But the action meant something, and that's important. And so, set in World War I, so you get the old school aesthetic, the old school action, and I like that aesthetic. I like the visuals of that time, and action movies set in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even the teens, as this is. I'm drawn to those. Like A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, even though the critics hate it, I actually like that movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me because I just like seeing action movies set in that time frame with like some good, robust action. But I feel like Kingsman just works on that level and works on that front. It's very different than the other ones. It doesn't lose sight of what comes after it either. So I feel like the Kingsman is worth your time. If you like the first Kingsman, and if you into that period piece action, you know what I'm saying? Get in on this, man. And if you're really into like the World War I, World War II, real life stories, I'm obsessed with like World War I and II. Like those are very interesting wars to me. So it's just like, oh snap. Because they mix it in real events. So if you're into that, pull up on the Kingsman. But forget all that. Y'all want to know the smooth jazz review of the Kingsman. Well, here it is. Oh yeah. I'm giving the Kingsman 4 saxophones out of 5. Check it out, man. And even if you haven't seen the other Kingsman movies, I think you can watch this on its own merit and still be able to understand it and flow with it. I think that's how well they did the prequel here. So, you know what I'm saying? So don't be intimidated if you haven't seen the other ones. Because I think that might be what's hurting it too, is because maybe enough people didn't see the Kingsman or the Kingsman 2. So check it out, man. It's worth it, man. I put my stamp on that bitch. Anyway. Turn it around. All right, peeps, that's my review of The Kingsman. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. Did you like The Kingsman and The Kingsman 2? Did you like that? And what do you think of that fight scene I was talking about in the church? Let me know in the comment section below. And do you agree with me on the fight choreography and the action scenes actually meaning something? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, we out here.